How in the world am I supposed to go take a good photo, let alone set up my own photo shoot and come out with a few good photos? How am I supposed to go about doing that? Well, this is important to know how to do because if you want to be a model or if you're already modeling, you need to know how to build your portfolio into a better position to market you when you're sleeping and you're traveling and you're living your life however you want to live your life. You want to know how to take better photos so that you can expand your abilities and who can hire you as a client and be able to say, yeah, I can confidently go and capture what you are after. You raise your trust level for them on their radar to say, yo, this is a really good person. I think we should hire this person. Plus, there's the IRL moment. You know what I mean? The in real life, I want to capture this experience. I want to capture this moment in an accurate way to what I'm experiencing it here. Because we've all had those photos where we look back on that vacation or that trip or that time out with friends or family, and you're like, I don't look like I'm having the best time when really you remember having a blast, but you just didn't capture it right. So it's important to know how to take a good photo. And then it's even more important to know how to set up a good photo shoot for yourself. So before we get into that, if you aren't already in our school community, go to school.com/pose to profit. That's school with a K.com/pose to profit and join our community. Plenty of resources, things like this in there that you're going to have a blast looking at and learning from and applying to your real life. Before we get into this video, as always, save yourself time and be efficient if you are able to bump this rate up to 1.5 speed or 2 times the speed so you can get through this very quickly. Now, if you're a new model, you're pretty new, relatively new, or completely brand new, like I am not even a model, I haven't even tried yet, I've never even had a photo shoot. Let's just set a goal right now that your goal, anytime you're going to set up a photo shoot for right now at this chapter where you're at in your journey, is to just come out with one good photo, just one good photo that you say, man, that actually that turned out okay. I like it. If you're an experienced model, you've been doing things for a while and you're still like, yeah, I know how to set up a shoot. I know how to get my stuff together, a lookbook, a mood board, all this stuff built together for my own shoot. And I got, a few different shirts, few different outfits for outfit changes and things like this. That's great, but you should be going into this shoot trying to figure out what hole in my portfolio is this shoot going to fill? Is this shoot that I'm setting up right now, is it just for fun, just for giggles? Am I just going to go out because I like shooting this stuff and I have a bunch of these already? Or is it going to be, I don't really have shots that fill this gap. I want to show my skill set, my experience in a different realm in my portfolio. That's the purpose of this. Aim to come out with a few good shots that fill a gap in your portfolio. All right, that's the goal. Everybody good on their goal. I want you to remember this. This super simple formula, it helps with your nerves during a photo shoot. If you're like, oh man, what am I supposed to do? What do I do with my hands? It helps with feeling more confident and like, okay, I could cycle through these things. Maybe, everybody feels like I have a good side, I have a bad side, that sort of thing. This helps to combat that and give you, as well as the photographer, a lot more time to work into a certain kind of moment in a photo shoot, in a pose. Let's say we're going to work this in. So remember this: 4 4 45. All right, 4 4 45. 4 4 45. Four, we ain't gonna go there, but 4 4 45. 4, that's the core 4 emotions. Remember the core 4 emotions. You have happy, you have sad, you have scared, you have mad. That's your 4. That's the first 4, your core 4. Happy, sad, scared, mad. All right. The next 4, it's the 4 corners. It's up, left, up, right, down, right, up, left, up, right, down, right, up, right, down, right. Okay, I'm getting carried away here. Remember that. Your core 4, so 4, 4, 45. 4 core emotions, 4 corners. All right, remember that. Up, left, right, down, right. And 45. 45 is, think 45 degrees. If directly at camera, I'm straight on, this is 180 degrees. 90 degrees would be an angle like this, straight to the side here, straight at camera, other 90. So when I'm shooting a profile shot, a lot of auditions call for a profile shot. You're going to go directly to one side, and directly to the other side. 45 degrees is going to be straight at camera. Here's the side. I'm going to split the difference of both of these. So I'm here and I'm here. What that looks like in just the head is taking photos here, and then I go 45. I'm not going to go farther this way unless there is a direction from the photographer or somebody on set, or there's a call for like a profile shot, right? So 45 here, that's kind of my barrier this direction. 45 here, kind of my barrier this direction. The same is true for the body. Now we're going to dive into this and break it down. I just wanted to give you the 4 4 45. 4 core emotions. If I now, before we get into this, before we get started, because we're going to have a little bit of role play, I'm going to actually do this with you, because I'm not going to send somebody out into the world in real life looking like a fool by yourself. I'm going to join you and look like an absolute lunatic. Here we go. Happy, sad, scared, mad. Before we get into those, look at what your stoic face looks like. So, are you someone that has RBF? Is that you? Are you like, oh, people ask me all the time, like, whoa, why are you mad? What's up? What's got you upset? What's got you irritated? When really you're just literally stoked. You're just chilling. You're like just observing the world, and that's just what you look like. So if I completely remove any sort of tension or anything from my face and just let it kind of relax, what does it look like? That's my resting face, right? Does it look angry? Does it lean toward the angry side? Does it lean more toward the happy side? Are you someone who's resting, and resting you're kind of like, and that's resting for you, especially when people have like Botox injections, whatever it is, like maybe that is the resting face for you. It pays to know what your stoic, your resting face is, because you can work with that as well. And you should know, what is my resting kind of baseline? Again, it's like the GPS. You need to know where you are right now and where you're trying to go. So if that's where you are, your stoic is on the happier side, but the shoot calls for some kind of sad feeling, you're going to have to go a little bit further than most people, or than somebody who is, their stoic face is more on the sad side. They don't have to go as far into sad as you would. Make sense? So your stoic face, what does it look like? And if you don't know, ask your closest people, ask your friends, your partner, whoever. If you have an agent, ask your agent. Whatever. If you don't have anybody, just look at yourself in the mirror, get relaxed, and just look and go, hmm, interesting. Okay, so I don't look happy, but I don't look particular. I don't look sad. I look a little this, a little that. Whatever. You assess it yourself. Then we start to play. There's a ton of emotions out there, and you'll see it in all kinds of different shoots, but the core 4 is going to be our baseline, to where we are always comfortable, at least more comfortable, even when we have nerves and excitement and everything arising during a shoot. You want to have that, like, what can I just lean back on? Oh, 4 4 45, 4 4 45. Okay, happy, sad, scared, mad. Let's go with happy. From my stoic, if I want to go to happy, and this is one that a lot of people in real life, you're like, man, I just want to have a photo that looks like I'm enjoying myself, right? One of the ways that you can do that is, I'll walk you through this process right now. You go from stoic, and then put a smile on, and then put a bigger smile. And if you're smiling like this, just open your lips. Okay, that's good. Now, that might look happy, but we can bump up the happy by just creating a little bit of separation from the teeth. So if I want, everybody's like, hey, everybody get together. This is such a fun Thanksgiving, get together for the family photo. And you're like, man, I have bombed every family photo for the last 72 years straight. This is your year. You're going to smile, open your lips, and then open your teeth a little bit, so there's a little gap. Ah, now it looks like I'm having a good time. Now we throw in the next 4. This is one of our core 4, right? Emotions. Now we go into the next 4. What's the 4? Up, left, up, right, down, left, down, right. So you could do that with just your head, and it changes everything about the photo. So if I'm smiling, oh, happy, and then I go here, and I go here, and I go here, and I go here. That changes everything about the photo. Believe it or not, if you're new at this, you might not understand or see that. I've experienced people are going to be like, oh, yeah, for sure. We know this, right? The same is true with blading your body. Blading is like, if your body is like a knife blade, let's say, and I'm going to blade this way, blade that way. Same thing with 45 degrees. I can look at camera, I can smile, I can be happy. And then if I turn my body and blade a little bit this way, like your standard politician photo, that's going to change things versus if I'm just straight on like this versus the other way, right? So you play with this and you have your core four emotions, run through those. You're happy, yeah, okay, and then you're sad. Same thing. If I'm gonna go sad, and we're gonna throw in a little bit extra here, a bonus one for you. If I'm gonna look sad and I need to kind of let sadness wash over me a little bit, and maybe you need to think about something sad, a sad moment, a funeral, somebody dying, whatever you need to do to get into that space. That's totally acceptable. Whatever your methodology is. And if you don't have one, just play with them. So sad to me, what I do is I focus on my breathing, like not like, okay, breathe this way, but how does somebody who's sad, how do I breathe when I'm at a funeral and it's like I'm watching for that moment that a loved person is being lowered into the ground. This is like kind of that last goodbye, so to speak. Like, how am I breathing? And to me, it's a shallow breath. Every once in a while, I have a like exasperated, like, right. So that's what I'll do to kind of get into that emotion, into that one of those core four. So you get sad, and then you go through again four, up, left, up, right, down, left, and it changes things. So you can go sad, and notice with this one, I'm not having as exaggerated movement with the head. It's more so like eyes. When I'm sad, when people are sad, typically they're not big exaggerated movements. It's like shoulders are slumped, like everything is kind of weighing down. This is why people say, hey, what's got you down? It's because literally it looks like the weight of the world is on your body and everything slumps. The speed at which you speak is like softer, it's not as fast, everything is down, right? So you could still do the four corners the same way. You could still blade, you can still turn your body. You can also work with tilting the head as well as tilting the body, leaning forward, leaning back, lean with it, rock with it, lean with it, rock with it. And this changes everything too. So if I'm happy and I'm here and I'm doing these, it also changes if I lean in and I do the same thing. It also changes if I lean back and I do the same. All of these things, you have so much to work with, right? 4 4 45. 4 4 emotions, your four corners, and then obviously you can lean with it, rock with it, tilt a little bit, do whatever you want to do there. Same goes with just your head or your spine. I think of it as like move my whole spine. Which way do I want to play with my spine movement? And then you're 45, right? Blading 45. And then, so that's you're happy, you're sad, you're scared. It's the same thing. If you think of like, okay, I could be looking directly at camera and I'm like, I'm scared. Right. That's great. But then if you want to give the impression, let's say we got, I don't know why this just came to mind. We got booked to shoot an ad for a haunted house. I personally don't feel like looking straight, like down the barrel of the camera and I'm scared straight at the camera. Like, it's like, well, the viewer of this ad is now, am I supposed to feel like I'm the monster? Like, okay, that could work, that could not. But for me personally, if I'm like the creative or what I've seen actually work for these type of ads is if somebody takes the up at an angle, fear, as well as a little bit of blading with the body, like something is coming to attack them, whether something from the air or something from the ground, jump scares from the ground. Right? I'm down here or up here. I told you we're gonna get weird. Listen, I told you we would get a little bit weird in here. And you got full permission, right? I'm giving you permission. You can give yourself permission. Nobody cares. Really, nobody cares. They might look at you like, oh, that's weird, whatever. We're working, baby. We're working. Haunted house. We got to sell these ads. I don't want to just, I'm scared right here. Let me look up, oh, my head and then my body. You have three different shots just in that little bit right there. So, photographer shooting me here. I'm scared straight down the barrel. And then I can move just my eyes. And that's kind of that moment where, oh, something scared me, but I don't know where it is. And I just locked on, oh shit. Uh, please bleep that out, Agatha, my wonderful editor. I've tried so hard. I've made it through 4 videos without cussing. If you've made it through the school course and you're at this point, I've gone so far without cussing. There's my slip up. It's kind of natural to me, whatever. It just rolls off the tongue. You have 4 different shots right here. Right down the barrel, "Huh, I'm scared." Eyes, "Huh," and then your head, "Ah," and then, "Ah, my body." I'm noticing everything. That's 4 different shots. Boom, 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 and now you have all of those to choose from after the photo shoot to say, "Which one of these do we like?" They all feel different, especially when you're rolling through them and looking in review after the shoot. To you, to the photographer, to the creative director, to whoever, it's gonna be like, "Oh, wow, we have spectacular options here." And that's what they want. They want options. You might nail it on the very first one. And what I do on set, this happens all the time. Not all the time. When this happens, I do this all the time. When they're like, oh, boom, first one, holy smokes, got it. I will always offer, hey, you guys want to just capture a few more just in case? Because for one, it's better to have something and not need it than to need something and not have it. So they've put on this massive production for weeks and weeks and weeks, and now we're here, we shoot, and then they leave and they're like, dang, we should have got one instead of straight down the barrel. We should have got one where they were looking up and kind of off camera. It's much better to say, hey, you guys want to just shoot a couple more if you want to. And maybe they're just like, no, hard no, we got it. We know exactly what you want. That's fine. You're there for them. Just move on. But if they're open to it, then work your way through the core 4 and the 4 4 45 so that you give them all these options because you might show them something they didn't know they needed. And that is one moment that will seal a booking for you and a rebooking for you. When you can show a client something that they didn't even think of, they didn't think they needed, and it was your idea or your skill set, your experience doing it, they're going to be like, man, amazing time working with this model. We need to book them again because they're already working on other projects, mind you. Any business is already a couple shoots ahead from the shoot you're working on. They're already like, okay, cool. If we're shooting spring, summer next year, they already have people working on fall, winter of next year for whatever their stuff is. So that's that. Whew. All right. 4 4 45, 4 4 45. Did you figure out your stoic face? Are you more on the happy side, more on the sad side, more on the mad side, more on the scared side? Figure that out for yourself, what your resting face looks like and looks more like. And then you'll know which one do I need to lean a little bit more into if I need to get there. If I'm typically a resting happy face, I need to lean a little heavier to get sad, right? That's kind of the polar opposite, or mad or scared, whatever it may be. You're up left, up right, down left, down right. Work those. Lean with it, rock with it, right? Great song. You can play that on your playlist, whatever. So lean with it, rock with it. Your 45, that's your 45-degree angles. That's as far as you want to go. Just a quick side note. The typical reason why that's as far as you want to go, like with your head and things like this, is because if you watch the my eyeballs, as I turn my head and I get to 45, you could probably still see the back eye a little bit. So it looks more alive, let's say, this shot. If I'm right here, you should be able to see this one obviously fully, but the other eye, that's the back eye, you should be able to see that still, even just a little glimpse of it. And it creates a bit of depth in the photo, which is good, but it also turns it from like straight profile is kind of like a mannequin, right? It's like, okay, we got half of what's going on, but what else is going on? And it's a weird thing, but you look at a lot of photos, go through any magazines, all these things. It's rare that you see people shooting beyond that 45 mark right here, right here. Play with it, go ahead and do it, but just again, this is like the core zone that we always fall back on if we're stuck, if we're confused, whatever it may be. Now that we have these down, how do you set up an actual shoot? If you're going to set up a shoot for yourself, how do you set up a successful shoot? I hinted at it earlier when I grabbed some shirts right here within arm's reach. It's because I'm filming quite a few different videos and I'm literally just swapping shirts out. I've been shooting different videos all at one time. This is like, I'm treating it like a photo shoot. So if you look through the course on school, you'll see, oh, different shirt here, different shirt there. This is my second time through this shirt. I've already shot a few videos and cycled through shirts. This is how you can get a bunch of different shots, different feeling shots in one shoot. You can go out for 1 hour and have 9 different outfits. And if you just literally, if you find somewhere dynamic, especially, you shoot this direction, you shoot that direction, you shoot this direction, you shoot this direction, and then you swap shirts, swap your outfit, right? Whatever you're wearing, do the same thing over and over. And you have a bunch of different photos that you can select from and go, oh, okay, that outfit with that background. It just didn't work. So we throw that one out. But we have that different outfit with the same background. That one works. Now it looks like several different photo shoots, but it's all just one outing to take photos. Really good way to go. Now, how do you set up your photo shoot? Complete novice, even skilled. Maybe you've been modeling, but you've never really set one up for yourself. And you're like, you know what? It's time for me to fill some holes in my portfolio. How do I set up a shoot? Well, I think it's probably, I'm hoping it's helpful for you, for me to just kind of, I'm winging this by the way, for me to just set one up right now. So let's go. I'm going to share my screen here and we're just going to go straight to Google and let's say, um, let's see. Oh, well, look at this Google history, boy. Yep, pulled up the Pro Bowl. That was for a post I made the other day. If you're, I mean, that was promoting the school community. So, how to autofill email. That's for me to send out a bunch of emails to invite people. I want to share this quick little side note. Winning lotto numbers. That was a joke with my brother. I want to share this quick side note with you to show you like this is literally me building this community, building this course. This is the raw, real behind the scenes. Like I have to go through and figure out like how do I share? How do I promote? How do I the demo reel? How do I show people the Pro Bowl uniforms? How do I show people the length of time I've been doing this to show I'm a good source for you and I'm here to help you. I'm here to not BS you. I'm here to show you and share with you a lot of things that I've gone through to save you time and pain from having to go through it. This is all very awkward to go through for me because all I want to do is help people, but these are steps to have to do that to build the trust level, right? I'm trying to build with people that don't even know me. I'm your guy for this thing. If you are feeling self-conscious about, man, it's so weird to take photos. I don't know about the core four. Like, it's just weird to be happy and out of nowhere. I don't have a reason to be happy or sad or mad or scared, whatever. This is it. Just do it. Just do it and look like a fool. Look wild, look whatever, but help yourself, help other people, help create beautiful ads, help fulfill your dreams, your desires, your curiosities. Maybe modeling isn't, a solidified dream or goal of yours, but who cares? If you're curious about it, just get out there and do it. And then have your Google history on a video at some point too for other people to look at. All right. How do we start with creating a photo shoot? If I wanted, let's say one of the holes in my portfolio, or if I'm completely brand new, let's do it as if I'm completely brand new. I'm a video game junkie. I've been gaming my whole life. I love video games and I love board games. I just love all types of games, but I'm also interested in modeling. And I don't really have many other skill sets or interests or anything other than video games, game boards, and whatever. Then it's like I don't know what to model. I'm not a runway model. I don't really know. Just start with what you already like. Start with your interests. So for me, my history obviously shows I'm not a video game guy. So this is a good example to show anybody can do this. So I'm going to look up video game magazine. And let's see what video game, or actually better to go straight to images because I really don't know. So video game magazine, these are all obviously video game characters, right? Okay, that's great. So I need to get a little bit more in depth. Video magazine ads. Okay, now we start to get like some funny stuff here, a little cosplay, right? Throw on that Spider-Man, get somebody in there. You start to see more like funny stuff, but what I want to look for right now, if I'm doing this on my own and I'm really nervous and I don't have anybody else that will partake in this with me, I'm by myself. I want to look for something I can shoot by myself. Okay, right here, a single person. That's great. Let's just do a quick little scroll and see if we find, that's funny. See if we find another little single individual. That's funny too. Yo, I swear video game, the internet community, always winning. This is good. All right, so I'm looking for, what I'm looking for as I'm scrolling, I'm looking for things that a solo person can do and set up an example shoot by themselves. If I just put my phone on a tripod and I just did this on my own, what would that look like? All right, so far I have one, I think that's Conan. Don't roast me if you're a gamer. I already told you I'm not. So this one right here, I would ideally come up with like 10 plus different poses, different shots. But let's just start with this one, right? So as I'm looking at this, what do I see here? I don't know what this little creature is. Your ferret. Okay, Game Boy. More fun than a ferret down your trousers. This is getting hilarious to me. So an old Game Boy ad. This is something you could do. Maybe you don't have a ferret, get maybe like a little stuffed animal, or maybe don't even do the ferret. Just find some weird thing that would fit here and just try to recreate this post. So you would want to copy and paste or screenshot or something. This would go in what would be your mood board or like a look book, so to speak. Those are a couple terms used for setting up a shoot to where you could show somebody if you crafted this shoot concept, you could show somebody else that might be modeling for you. You could say, hey, this is what we're after. We want to be the ferret down the trousers guy. We want to shoot this for Game Boy. This is the old Game Boy ad. We want to recreate it. Then you look at what's the person wearing? White t-shirt, older, blue jeans, right? Great. There's not much more to this shot. You look at the background. You don't have to go crazy with that. You could shoot it in whatever room where you would have a Game Boy or your phone or whatever, right? Set up your tripod. You want to go into recreate mode. So how do I recreate and capture this? Well, the look on the face. Remember our core four? Is this in the happy, the sad, the scared, the mad category? This looks happy, right? More fun, right? So this is in the happy of the core four. So great. Eyebrows way up. We're assessing this. Mouth, again, parted. Like he could be happy like this, but it's not going to be as happy as with the mouth parted, like he's screaming with joy, having so much fun. He's also slouched down in the spot. So profile shot, we talked about the 45-degree. That's when you're posing for certain things. This is a good example of the profile shot being used for an ad where you break that 45 barrier. Now, I'm going to go and try to get into this position when I set up my camera. Now you could set up to where your camera, if it's your phone, just put the timer on and, see the flashes and just try to get in position, whatever. But just try to literally recreate this position. Like you're slouching. I don't want to do it because I'll get out of camera here, but you're slouching. You're thrilled. You're looking at this with your little stuffed animal down your pants, whatever. Shoot that a couple times. Play with your expressions, play with angles, whatever it is, right? Your 4, 45, and then move on to your next thing. Which, let's see. Let's try. I want to try another example. So video game magazine ads with person. So let's see if this narrows it down. Okay, here we go. There's something with Jackie Chan. Can you recreate the Jackie Chan shot as a video gamer? Now, obviously, he's like the stunt master, as it states right here. But can you recreate that? Here's some for Game Boy right here. Can you recreate these? I mean, this is literally 3 different shots as an individual. You're very happy right here. You're stoic right here. And those are both kind of 3/4 to camera. This one is straight down the barrel. And this is like playful. This is kind of, I would put this in the category of we go happy, we go stoic. This is like I would say this is kind of a mix of happy, mad, right? Like you're playing a bit of like a grungy, like, I'm kind of playful, but like grungy shot in this. Like, what color is yours? Which one? You see, this is expressing. Play with these shots by yourself and see if you can make this advertisement on your own. Can you do the happy shot? Throw some shades on, do the happy shot, up 3/4, boom, I'm looking away, ha, spread the mouth. Can you do that stoic shot? Again, you can go stoic straight down the barrel and then turn to the side a little bit. And then eyes back to camera. That's this shot here, right? And then this other one, this might be for you. You're like, how do I can't wink. I don't really know how to wink. Well, don't wink. Just try to do some other silly face. If you physically can't do that shot, just play with the idea, the concept, the feeling of that shot. So then you're going to go, you're right. You got this thing again. I told y'all we're getting wild in here. We're going to have to be silly. This is how you compile shots for yourself. Don't try to think I need to learn how to pose. Copy poses. For me, I'll tell you what I did for the very first thing. I got into modeling, doing sports and fitness modeling. And it wasn't far off from who I was. It was literally, if you're a gamer, this is the route. Go do the thing that's gaming for yourself. For me, it was sports and fitness. So I went with Men's Health magazine pose, or magazine, let's say magazine cover. And you go through and it's like, okay, boom, here's one kind of 3/4 arms crossed, looking tough. Great. This one, hands down, looking a little bit more cheerful, a little bit more inviting, a little head tilt there, kind of, off to the side. You just start to assess these things and just recreate it. So what I would do in this case is I would go, okay, take all of these shots right here, screenshot all of these, save them into like a little folder because I'm about to go out somewhere to shoot these, or I'll just shoot them at my house, whatever. But I want something to reference while I'm gonna set up my shoot. I want something like, I'm new to this, I don't know, or even if I'm skilled, I want to go back and reference so I know, like, okay, he's got his arms crossed for right. If we're doing this one right here, he's got his arms crossed. That's great. But if I'm turned this way with this shoulder to the camera, is that the same hand that goes over the other arm? And I'm like, oh, actually, no, for him, it's the other way. Oh, okay. So the shoulder that's in front of the camera, closest to the camera, that goes under the other arm. So I'm here and then I'm here over the top. And that way he's probably pushing his bicep a little bit to look a little bit more accentuated than here, 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 right? You start to assess these things for yourself. Get into that pose as best you can and then play with it. Just play with it. Just get weird. This is how I would set up a shoot. If you wanted to go with something, those kind of didn't capture outfit, let's say, because these are pretty simple, right? Just some sweats, some jeans, whatever. But you want to be looking at that too. But let's say, let's do one more. Let's do one more magazine cover. I'm going to try to do something. I did the video game thing, which is completely not me. This right here, the men's health thing, that was me starting out. I was like, yeah, this is, my arena. I want to do something that's wildly not me. So let's go with Vogue. Let's go. Okay, good. You auto corrected to Vogue. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if I were to try to set up and recreate something like this, maybe I don't have a wild hat like this. Maybe I don't have dresses that look like this. Just get something even relatively close. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing. Rihanna here in a hoodie, right? In a hoodie, weird see-through dress thing, whatever. You scroll down, just find these and work to recreate these. Lizzo over here, she's in a dress, but she's also kind of like, it looks like she's patting down the dress a little bit, or maybe she's like kind of, popping it up, popping the collar, whatever it is. Start to play with this. Capture these, save them, and go set up your own shoot in your own home, in your own private little studio where nobody in the world has to know how weird you are, unlike somebody who's putting this up onto the internet and YouTube for people to absolutely roast. Who cares? Who cares? Set yours up. Boom. You got this beautiful headdress, Iman, Beyonce up here, flowers. Go make your own little flower bouquet. Do whatever you've got to do to start to recreate this stuff in pose. Margot Robbie right here. Boom. Okay. A little hand kind of on the back of the hip there, and then a little cheesy straight to camera. But her body, you see, 45 away and leaning a little bit forward. Play with this. Just start to try to recreate these for yourself. And once you do, oh boy, it's off to the races. Give yourself permission to be weird. Remember 4 4 45, 4 4 45, 4 4 45. Just remember 4 4 45. If you get stuck, play with the same thing. Maybe you get into Margot's pose and you're just like, oh, what do I do? Take your eyes. Start with just your eyes. Up, left, left, down, right, and then go with your head. Up, left, down, right, and then go with your body. Up, left, right. Just play with the core four. You've got plenty to work with from this. Plenty to work with from this. Go do your shoot. And again, if you are an experienced model, make sure the shoots you're setting up for yourself are either something you just absolutely love and you're thrilled to do, or a combination of something you love, you're thrilled to do, or something you've never done, and there's a hole in your portfolio that needs to be filled. Fill those holes in your portfolio. You're going to start booking more work. And if you are intentionally trying to get a shift in your career, you've been pigeonholed into this one thing, kind of typecasted in this one thing, but you really want to be over there. That's going to be in another video of how to transition out of your pigeonhole into the next thing that you want to do, not that somebody else tells you what you should do. That's it for now. I will see you on the inside. I'll see you on set. Make sure, if you're not a part of the school community, you join school.com/pose to profit. Again, that's school with a K. School.com/pose to profit. Thanks again. I'll see you on set.